Happy April, guys! As we step into the months of April and May, I, Allison, am on maternity leave. To celebrate this and give me a break from podcasting, we're pulling content from our group coaching calls inside our private coaching group, the Better Belly Blueprint, to share with you. Today's topic comes from my client, Lynn. She asked, I've received my results for my second HTMA test, and I'm not sure how to interpret it. I've rewatched the HTMA analysis video, but still am not confident I know what changes to make to my protocols, if anything. Can you help me confirm if I'm understanding it correctly? Lynn's question comes from the powerful fact that inside our program, the Better Belly Blueprint, we teach you how to be your own best healer through teaching you how to do your own lab interpretation and analysis, which ultimately saves you lots of time and money and gives you the power to understand your own body's areas that needs to heal. So what Lynn really wants to know is, can I help her be confident she's understanding her new lab retest correctly before she moves forward? So cool. So how would you like to get support just like this to feel 100% confident you're moving in the right direction in your healing? A lot, right? And Lynn is getting all of this for 3 months of coaching for just one low fee. And that's usually the cost of one appointment with a functional health practitioner. Literally, probably less than the cost of one appointment with a functional health practitioner. And she's getting 3 months of coaching. So if you want to ask questions to me, just like Lynn has, and get my live feedback, now you can. When you join the Better Belly Blueprint and add on group coaching with our super affordable price, you get access to live biweekly group coaching calls just like this one and unlimited daily one-to-one coaching inside our private Facebook group. Enrollment is open now. There's no need to wait. We are still serving you and all of our clients inside of the Better Belly Blueprint during my maternity leave. So go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint to read more about the Better Belly Blueprint and join today. Or if you prefer to learn via audio and video, you can go to betterbellytherapies.com/training and watch the free training I've put together on why and how the Better Belly Blueprint helps you overcome your toughest symptoms, even when nothing else has worked. Are you ready to hear Lynn's answer? Let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly Podcast. If you're currently trying endless supplements, doctor visits, and diet changes to heal your mystery symptoms, you are in the right place. We're here to solve the real root causes behind your gut, hormone, skin, sleep, and brain concerns, literally anything and everything in your body. My name is Allison Jordan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner that has supported over 150 clients just like you to heal problems that no one has been able to fix. You don't need a perfect diet or a random supplement you found on Instagram to heal. You need a proven system that heals your whole body from the inside out. That's what I'm here to share with you, episode by episode. It's time to make health easy again. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. I'm gonna post it in here. She got her second HTMA. Love HTMAs. And actually Lynn's the person who she came in with an HTMA from like a previous person. So we have 3 from her. I love it. Love data. And I'm just copying and pasting her stuff here. She pretty systematically asked a bunch of questions and we're going to answer them. And if you could see, I like bold questions and stuff. That's all me. You guys are not doing that when you ask questions. All right, I'm going to share screen here. We're going to talk about labs. All right, so this is her before working with us. This and what year was this? 2022. And then here is February 2024. Mercury's higher than this first one. Tip might suggest exposure. I know I've talked with Lynn about this. I think she said that she'd gotten her mercury implants removed between this test and this test. So this might have been exposure from that her body was still dealing with from the implants. But we also can actually start to get rid of mercury out of the body, or heavy metals in general, as the body gets healthier. So she wasn't feeling great when she came in here, but this is first what's going on. Some really notable things, and other than the mercury in the first test, was copper, very, very elevated, significantly higher than zinc. And then calcium, magnesium being moderately elevated. So we're thinking MK7 to bring that calcium down, give her some magnesium because she's burning it and losing it. And then sodium, potassium. They're actually like at normal range, but I was concerned that this was a loss or like burning through it. So we also had her still take some sodium, potassium. All right. So for the second lab, the updated one, beep, 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 some notable things, starting with mercury, is it went higher. And to me, it's like if her symptoms are improving and she's actually doing things to help heal her immune system, getting rid of pathogens, getting rid of food sensitivities, it's super common on a second HTMA test that heavy metals will go up. It doesn't always happen. If it goes down on a second test, we're assuming that they didn't have more to get rid of. But if it goes up on a second test while they're in the middle of a healing process, then it means they're getting rid of even more and their body's naturally pushing it out. Their body's like, I don't want this anymore and I'm ready to get rid of it. And this is what you want to see before you ever do a very specific heavy metal protocol. That's things like people will start giving you EDTA and things that will push the metals out. We do not want to push before we see the body essentially pushing. It's almost like if you guys know about natural means to have a baby, you don't want the mommy pushing the baby out with her strength until she's reached a certain phase where her body is pushing the baby out. Not just like the contractions, but like baby is starting to come out and she's going through transition. So it's very similar. Follow the body. We want to follow the body. Some other things to know, just flipping back and forth here. Calcium was at 143 in this first test. Right here, you can actually see an exact number. And here it's 82, much more normal, very, very close to normal range. One of our questions was, can I stop taking MK7? I would pause it and then take another HTMA test in 3 months. And if it pops back up, go back on it. But I would anticipate it wouldn't. So pause MK7. Other stuff, magnesium went from 14.8 and it lowered to 12.2. And keep in mind, she's on MAG-SRT, so she's taking magnesium. You can see how it went lower. So taking supplements does not always correlate with it going higher. It can often be that your body is starting to calm down. She's burning through magnesium less, so it's lowering. My gut reaction is to half the dose. So that could be, and I forgot what the dosage is, but half as many, like if you're doing it 2 times a day, you could do it 1 times a day, same amount, or you could do half as many for those 2 times a day. It might not be 2 times a day. I just don't remember for MAG-SRT. Sodium went from 22, and I actually want to look at sodium potassium together. 22 for sodium, 11 for potassium. Sodium went to 68 and potassium went down to 6. So this to me says probably what was going on in this first test is that it might have not been a loss. She might have been those were her actual sodium levels. So you want to discontinue sodium. It does not by any means mean that you have to stop like eat like a salt-free diet, but I would stop the electrolytes that have sodium. You can actually get electrolyte drinks with no sodium. I feel like I've seen them. It's been a while, but I remember looking at one point when I was on Amazon specifically, I was looking around at electrolytes and I was like, oh, here's one that doesn't have any sodium. The other thing is that you can just make your own DIY electrolyte drink. It could be like adding cream of tartar, which is potassium, drinking coconut water, which is potassium, but basically focusing on things that can give you potassium in your diet or in a drink. So adding cream of tartar to some sparkly water with some stevia if you want it to be sweet. Cream of tartar has a slightly like tart, if you say tartar, has a slightly tart flavor. It's not absolutely horrible in my mind, but however you want to take in potassium, whether you focus on food, um, focus on something like coconut water that you can buy, focus um, on like just adding cream of tartar into drinks or food, that would be some options you have. So stop the focus on salts and say yes to the focus on potassium because the potassium did go down. That can happen for a variety of reasons. I wouldn't be worried. It's common that I'll see the potassium go down in a second HTMA. We want to just keep serving that potassium. Potassium takes a very long time to rehabilitate. So it's just normal that it takes a while. Um, some other fun things. Copper went way down. I mean, it was at the top here. We don't even need to go back to the number. It like halved itself. And that copper and zinc are now at a 1-to-1 ratio. Um, I've seen things go in a couple different directions from here. And there's the more conservative direction would be, yes, you do stop your copper toxicity protocol, which is just stop you're on zeolite. I really like zeolite as a binder. I'm kind of interested in zeolite hanging around because of mercury. BioBuilder is also really great to get rid of toxins. I like that too. Molybdenum is something else you're on. And if you look here, actually, it's molybdenum's in the copper protocol. Molybdenum here is still not ideal. So you could keep taking molybdenum. And then there's the push cash liver detox, which is generally detoxing. It could be just that you don't focus on it as much. The one thing so generally the copper toxicity protocol is not going to force you to push out more copper than your body wants you to. What you can play around with is not being avoidant of copper as severely. So if you were avoiding food with copper in it, you could eat those with less concern, for example. Those would be things I'd be thinking of if you want to moderate. I love everything in the copper protocol, and I intentionally made it super gentle so you don't get more gnarly copper detox than necessary, and also so you don't detox copper really intensely. So I would honestly keep it based off of looking at what's in it, and then the fact that your molybdenum is not fully up yet, could be really generally protective for you. But I also want to know, I'm looking at Lynn, just what your general symptoms are. And I wonder if you shared that with me. Boop, boop, boop. Did you share your symptoms? I went too high. All right, here we go. Yeah, you didn't share what your symptoms are like how much they've improved, and those would be things that I'd be interested in. Da, 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 da. In thinking about where are you at in the total process of the blueprint. But since I don't have that, I will go and look at your original results. Lynn. There's Lynn. And actually, I'm mostly interested in the oat. Okay. Your oat was pretty clean the first time around on the first page. Oxalates were high. Some mitochondrial imbalances, one ketone, and a moderately high methylation. All right. So, Lynn, with all the advice I just gave, like stopping sodium, keeping with potassium, stopping MK7, probably keeping with copper, yes, the HMET binder for mercury. Want to make sure you're not getting any mercury exposure. So you can go and look at potential sources of mercury exposure in the leaky gut protocol. Just make sure you're not getting exposed anywhere. As long as that's happening, it's probably coming out pretty naturally. And if your symptoms are really good, you're like, I feel amazing. We're going to wait another 3 months and retest and see if your mercury keeps rising. Does it stay high? Does it start to lower? Retest the HTMA in 3 months. Keep with everything else about the same other than the changes we mentioned. And if you feel really good, you'll finish your pathogen protocols. Make sure you keep feeling good. That'll be fine. But if you start to feel worse again, we might want to start looking at retesting an oat and making sure that your first oat wasn't falsely low due to potentially not detoxing well. And falsely low meaning there's lots of markers on it that can get falsely low. But if you feel good, don't worry about retesting the oat, and we'll just retest the HTMA in 3 months after you've continued in this just steady process. Minerals are not fast movers. Yours have actually moved really fast, which is super encouraging. But generally, like, they're not fast movers, and we do want to keep on that mercury to get you to a really good spot for your long-term health. If you have any questions on that, come into the Facebook group, and And even if you don't have a question, maybe come to the Facebook group and just tell me what your symptoms have been like what's good, not just what's bad, like what's better, what came in bad, what's improved, what's lingering, or what maybe is like newly a problem since coming in, even if it's moderate, just so that we have the full picture on how you're feeling.